Hi everyone, it's me, Ella, and welcome back to my channel. If you've seen my latest video, you will know that I have just been to London for the May 6 sing-along with the new Queens, and also whilst we were down there, we managed to squeeze in a rather unexpected, impromptu little trip to Great Gatsby as well. Even though I managed to successfully vlog this London trip, I found that I had quite a lot to say about both shows. So we will have two separate Theatregoing overviews. This one for Six and the new Queens at the sing-along, and the next one for Great Gatsby. So without further ado, let's get started with Six. If you remember from my last sing-along video, I went and bought the new Six charms intended to make either a bracelet or a necklace. And when I bought them initially, I thought to myself, oh, hold on a minute, I don't think I've got a chain, so I will now have to go and buy one. However, little did I know, when I got home from that trip, I managed to find a pack of necklace chains in one of my bedside drawers. So I went and sorted myself out by putting the charms onto this necklace chain. I didn't wear this to the show at the Vaudeville, however, what I did do was I wore this as part of my outfit to travel down to London in, because I was already going to the show dressed as Jane Seymour. I bought the costume quite a while ago and I was very, very excited to wear it to the show for the first time. When we arrived into London, we immediately checked into the hotel to drop some stuff off into the room. We then went for some dinner, and after eating, I got my Seymour costume on, ready to head straight over to the Vaudeville for the sing-along. Now, let's start with the cast board, because if you remember from my last sing-along video back in January, they actually got Aragon and Seymour mixed up and listed the wrong queens. However, I can confirm that the cast board was correct on this occasion, and we had... Sorry in advance, but I am not going to say the surnames of the new queens because I'm still trying to learn some of them. We had Jazz for Aragon, Thao for Boleyn, Hana for Seymour, Dionne for Cleves, Caitlyn for Howard, and Odelia for Parr. If you are wanting the surnames of the new queens that were at the sing-along, I will put their full names into the description. Anyway, after seeing the cast board, I went to the merch desk and bought a considerable amount of merchandise, as they had released quite a lot of new merch since my last visit to the Vaudeville back in February for changeover of the previous queens. Okay, so as for my purchases at the merch desk this time, I bought the new silhouette jumper, the new World Tour t-shirt, the new pack of bracelets, which I can show you now. As you can see, each queen has their own bracelet in their own bespoke colour palette. So gold and yellow for Aragon, two separate shades of green for Boleyn, grey and silver for Seymour, two separate shades of red for Cleves, pink and lilac for Howard, and two separate shades of blue for Parr. I cannot wait to wear these at some point. And then alongside all of that, I obviously went and bought the new programme with the new queens inside. Getting into the actual sing-along itself then, and also the new queens. As I said earlier, we had Jazz for Aragon, Thao for Boleyn, Hana for Seymour, Dionne for Cleves, Caitlyn for Howard, and Odelia for Parr. Odelia was the only alternate on at this sing-along, and the other five were the main queens. What can I say about the new queens then? I tell you what, let's just go in the correct order and work our way down the list from there. So, starting off with Jazz, who plays Katherine of Aragon. She was so energetic, and that certainly came through in the line delivery as well. Her rendition of No Way was so powerful, and I absolutely loved her portrayal of Aragon from beginning to end. She gave a stunning performance. Moving on to a remaining queen and some returning queens now then, the first of which being Thao, who plays Anne Boleyn. She was so bouncy and so lively on Sunday night. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen Thao so bouncy. I noticed that she's even added some new elements to her portrayal of Anne Boleyn, which I absolutely adored, and above all, it was a pleasure to witness Thao as Anne Boleyn again. The next returning queen is Hana Stewart as Jane Seymour. Now, for those of you who don't know, I actually saw Hana Stewart as Katherine Parr when Six was at the Lyric Theatre. At the time, it was my second show, and now I have seen Six 21 times. Anyway, Hannah's performance as Jane Seymour was 100% worth the wait. She has a beautiful voice. I absolutely adored her rendition of Heart of Stone, and she was so funny in her line delivery. And the final returning queen is Dionne Ward Anderson as Anne of Cleves. She was absolutely hilarious the whole way through, and get down, no joke, the whole audience went absolutely wild. Never ever in all my trips have I seen an audience go absolutely crazy like the way they did on Sunday night. The atmosphere at that point was insane, which, to be honest, I'm not surprised at, considering Dionne got the whole front row up for Get Down, and above all, it was an absolute privilege to be able to witness Dionne as Anne of Cleves again. Back on track with some new queens to finish us off. Catherine Howard was played by Caitlyn, and what really stood out for me was the energy that Caitlyn put into the performance and also the line delivery. And finally, Odelia as Katherine Parr. As I mentioned earlier, Odelia was the only alternate on at this sing-along, and all I have to say is wow. Her version of I Don't Need Your Love honestly left me absolutely speechless. She has a beautiful voice and her riffs were honestly something else. I absolutely adore how she was able to put her own unique spin and stamp to the role of Katherine Parr, and I loved her performance from beginning to end. Overall, the new queens were fabulous and they did really, really well for their first sing-along. I cannot wait to see them all again for the next Vaudeville Sing-Along in July. And if you do get the chance to go and see the new queens, you are in for an absolute treat. I would like to close this overview by highlighting that the atmosphere at this sing-along was honestly unlike any other sing-along atmosphere the Vaudeville have had. The audience went crazy, and even though Get Down was a standout moment in terms of audience participation, the audience went wild the whole way through, and there were even some funny moments as well. I have said this before and I will say it again, but if you are yet to attempt a Six sing-along, by all means make sure you go to one, because quite frankly it is one of the best nights in the Six calendar. I had a whale of a time and cannot wait for the next one. Before I go, in the previous vlog I was talking about a new bag which unfortunately didn't quite arrive in time for me to take to the sing-along. However, it arrived the day I came back from London and here it is. I am fully aware that this is a Disney Loungefly, but it is purple and sparkly, just like Six, and while I wait for my official Six bag to be repaired, I thought this would be perfect. Please excuse the random piece of white felt packaging around the ears, as it is just there to keep them straight, but I cannot wait to take this with me on some Six trips, starting with 2 at the end of the month when I see the Tour Queens in Leicester. And on that note, this video comes to an end, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye!